Okay, so I'm gonna talk about depression in this one because I talked about anxiety in the last one, but I'm gonna have multiple parts of each one, meaning like I put an anxiety part one, there's gonna be a couple of those, and then there's gonna be a couple of these. I just wanted to start out this one, but this one's just a bit more difficult for me to talk about just because it just brings up more emotions, and that's harder. So like we're gonna bear through it. Each of these are gonna be about 10 minutes long. It's gonna be, and I'm not saying that this is like this for everybody. I want to preface in every single video that like this is my experience only. So like it's not the same for everyone. I want to put my story out there for certain things because some people feel like they're alone, and I don't want them to feel like that because we're not. Each of us, we have our own problems. We have what we go through, but at least we can, I can share, at least part of my stuff, So we're going to talk about my depression. I was diagnosed at the same time I was diagnosed with my anxiety, which was about 16. Weirdly enough, it was like right after like a bunch of stuff happened. But my depression has always been very easy to hide. Meaning I've had depression forever. Probably from the start of middle school, 11, 12, having depression because people in my life didn't notice until I was 16. That I was pretty good at hiding it for about 5 years. You get really good. People with depression usually get very good at saying like, I'm good. I'm all right. And putting a brave face on, like it gets easier and easier to do that. So, mine is very, introverted depression because I don't show people that I'm sad. I don't, because every time I do, I get told that I'm overreacting, or I get told that people have it worse than me, but in your own mind, you have it worse. So the most dangerous place is your own mind. So you can't tell someone that someone else's life is worse, because to them, that's the worst that it's going to get, So you can't. So that's what I don't share with people when I'm depressed. I don't share with people when I'm sad, because I'm just a burden. Which I've come to terms with that now. I just kind of deal with it myself versus seeking out other people, because I know I'm not going to get what I'm looking for. So at 16, I started taking medication, which made it easier. See, I took medication for helping me control my emotions. I didn't take any of that stuff that numbs you. I was already doing that myself, the whole numbing thing, because it goes back and forth. It goes back and forth between feeling nothing and then feeling everything, because I also have anxiety. So I started medication at 16, and the medication was to help me control my emotions, so that if I did have a depressive episode, that I could, take a deep breath, calm myself, gather myself easier than just going out of control and not being able to stop. So, I took that for a few years, and then I wasn't able to afford it anymore, so I stopped taking it. Plus, I was at a pretty good place where, I wasn't dependent on it anymore. It wasn't, a thing that I needed. It was just kind of like a security blanket to, keep me from going over the edge, But, almost 2 years ago, I stopped taking my medication, and it's been pretty okay. just because ever since I've moved, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I am a Taurus, and Tauruses are severely afraid of change. They like things to stay the same. I like things to stay the same. I don't like a lot of things to, like, change around, because if they do, then it's different, and then I have to learn a new way to cope, and it's just not a good thing for me. But I moved in the beginning of this year, in January of 2017, and it's just been a little difficult, just because I couldn't bring my therapy pet with me, which I do have a therapy pet. I couldn't bring her with me. She had to stay down with my mom because my stepmom is allergic, which is fine, you know, like, I'm living there for free because I'm looking for a job right now. So I need, you know, I couldn't bring my cat with me, which is a problem because she is what makes me feel better and keeps me from going out of control. Since moving, I've had maybe 2 or 3 like crying, like depressive episodes, and you know, I don't talk to anyone about it anymore. Like, I don't, because all I am is a problem for most people, and I'm not going to sit here and burden them. I would rather be that person that they come to when they have a problem versus the person that they see as a problem, because I don't know, I don't feel like I can talk to anybody about it, which is, it sucks. But, like, I'm guessing I'm using this as my therapy because, like, I can't talk to anyone. Because as soon as I talk to someone, they're either going to tell me how they have it worse, or they're going to tell me that I'm overreacting, or that it's not something to get so worked up about, you know, like, this isn't something I can cure. Just because I stop taking my medication and I act like I'm happy does not mean that my depression is gone. It's a mental illness. An illness meaning it's chronic. I have it. I'm going to have it probably for the rest of my life. The reason I stopped taking my medication, not even that I couldn't afford it. Like, that's not even the problem. Like, I stopped taking my medication because it gets easier to cope along the years, you know? So with all this change that's happened, it's getting harder to cope. And I don't have my cat. I don't have everything around me that I used to. You know, I don't have I don't have, you know, the resources around me that I used to. I don't get to go to my LGBT group anymore. I don't get to go, I have a job right now because, you know, the problem with not having a job isn't not having money, isn't struggling to survive. The problem with me not having a job is I have nothing to distract me. Is that I'm home all day sitting and doing nothing. And all I have is me and my thoughts. And that's not a very safe place for me. So, like, I'm struggling, and I get it if other people are, you know. Anyone is welcome to put comments down in the comments section, or message me on any of my social media, you know, if they ever need someone to talk to, you know, because even if I don't tell you my problems, I'm very much willing to listen. It takes a very long time for me to open up to someone just because I have been shot down so much, so I have that security for me, but you know, I'm always available to talk to anybody about their depression, even if they feel like they have no one. Like, I'm available. I literally don't have a job or anything to do, so I can literally give anybody advice, you know. I've lived through a couple of hard things, you know. I can help with, you know, what I told my other friend is if you can get through this with help from me or your other friends or your family, you know, if I can get through what I did by myself, you can get through it with help from me or anyone. So I guess that's it for this one. If you like the video, then good for you. If you don't like the video, then sucks to be you. See ya.